Well, welcome to the first free Talk to the Entities Ancestors moment. It's the first and it might be the last. We'll have to see how this goes. We historically don't do ancestor stuff in Talk to the Entities because it's actually too hard. So on that note, thank you, Ryan, for joining me. Ryan is a longtime Talk to the Entities facilitator, and I'm actually the founder of Talk to the Entities, which I feel like is like a joke because I sound like a 15-year-old, but I'm the fearless, goofy leader. And I come from California, where ancestors are not that big of a deal. So I had to get one of my qualified friends to join me. Ryan is from Chinese descent, Malaysian born and raised. So he's got a lot of intimate experience with ancestors. One of the things that we know to be true is that all Asian cultures have a lot of ancestral worship, which can lead to limitation. So that's really the energy of where we're going today is how do you have more choice? How do you have more choice? How do your ancestors have more choice? And what reality do we need to change for all people and entities to have more choice? I'm not going to say be free. I don't want to aim too big for everybody on this free call today, but you know, freedom is pretty fun. So Ryan, you were telling me a few weeks ago, you had mentioned when we were talking about this, a pretty big breakthrough that you had had in regards to your ancestors. Can you tell that story?
Okay, so hello everyone. So I heard Shannon talk about, I heard you talk about these ancestors things in TTTE classes, in many TTTE classes for years.
Yeah.
And all this time for me, it was more like I was kind of like in denial, like, nah, that has nothing to do with me. I understand what you were saying, and then I could facilitate people to change, to break through some limitations. But for me, it was more like, all right, now I don't have any of this. But by saying I don't have any of this, it doesn't mean I don't have it. I just keep pushing them away and with a lot of energy.
Okay.
And it was about 2 months ago, finally, like I had to deal with them. So when I say deal with them, I have to finally acknowledge how much they were trying to talk to me, give me their points of view, and try to get me to do something that they like. So, but if I keep fighting them, then it won't set me free and it won't set them free. But so at that moment, I'm like, all right, so I'm not denying anymore. I have to receive you all, push down all my barriers, like, all right, come on. So, but at the same time, not letting their points of view affect me. So I had a lot of breakthrough there. And then so I happened to share the story with you last month. And then this is why we are having this Zoom, I think.
Yeah. Not having their points of view control you. So yes. That's really, so, you know, it's like Talk to the Entities started as my coping mechanism for not wanting to kill myself from being aware of trillions of ghosts. And it's really grown into a very thorough toolbox that everybody can use to have more ease with entities. And since ancestors fall into the entity category, I believe that the topic of ancestors has sort of like an added layer of complexity because you're, in addition to entities, you're adding family stuff. And how many points of view do you guys have around family? You know, let alone talking to entities. So it really compounds the difficulty of this area. So everything that talking to entities and points of view around family, everything that came up for all you guys, when I asked that, will you destroy and uncreate it, please?
Yes.
You want to be my official pod talker, Ryan?
Okay. Ryan, wrong, good and bad, pod. Oh, nice. Shorts, boys, powers, and beyonds.
Beautiful. That's the access clearing statement. If you're hearing it for the first time, you want to go to theclearingstatement.com. There's a beautiful video with Dane here and Simone Millicis describing it, talking about it. It totally sounds like gobbledygook. We know that. But however, sort of like the magic delete button that allows you to clear the energetics behind all of our stuff. So it's effective. I'm not going to talk much about it. If you have no idea what Ryan just said, go to theclearingstatement.com. And maybe it also exists in Mandarin. I don't know if it's in translated. I feel like it probably is, though. Cool. So, oh, Max is putting something else on me right now. So what else do you think are people? We're not going to take any live questions today. We're not going to be on here for very long. But Ryan and I wanted to come on here and invite everyone to a different possibility. So Ryan, what are the possibilities with the ancestral stuff in people's lives?
Okay, so a lot of people, they function from needing something from the ancestors, but this is quite a cultural point of view.
So as you talk, can I process as you talk?
Yeah.
So everywhere that you guys think and believe that you need your ancestors, will you destroy it and create all that, please?
Yes, right, wrong, good and bad, part and part. Oh, nice, shorts, boys, poets, and beyonds. Whoa.
And everywhere that your ancestors are telling you that you need them, will you destroy and uncreate everywhere you're making that real and true for you too?
Right, wrong, good and bad, part and part. Oh, nice, shorts, boys, poets, and beyonds. And one more thing. So after you asked me to do this Zoom with you, and then I started to look into this topic a lot more. And in the Chinese culture, there is this saying, it's like to bring glory to the ancestors, like do something good, like be a successful person, not because of yourself, but because of the family and because of the ancestors. Bring glory to the ancestors. I'm like, oh my God.
Right. So everywhere that you're living your life for others rather than for what makes you happy, will you destroy and uncreate all that, guys?
Ooh, right, wrong, good. Even though your ancestors might not be happy about that. Right, wrong, good and bad, part and part. Oh, nice. Shots, boys, poets, and beyonds.
And this is really my motivation with the ancestral conversation, is that I have witnessed, experienced so many people giving up their lives, giving up their choice for their ancestors, for others. And in this case, when you're doing it for entities, that's like double dangerous. It's sort of like, in Access, we talk a lot about, do you divorce yourself in relationships with others? And it's a common thing that occurs on this planet. Sort of like, that's a pretty big conversation. But if you're always looking for something outside of you to approve of you, to judge you as correct, you are a servant to that which you are looking to approve of you. Do you want to be a servant your entire life? Is that what this lifetime is for you? So everything that brings up for all you guys, will you destroy and uncreate it?
Yes. Right, wrong, good and bad, part and part. No, I was thinking of something else. I was like, you see, if you ask them like, would you like to be a servant your entire life? People will say no. But when they hold on to so many points of view, so many significance about the ancestors, they are being a servant and they are totally like not able to acknowledge and see that part. They're like, no, my ancestors will only take care of me. They will only protect me.
Is it not that they're not able to acknowledge it, or they haven't acknowledged it yet? Everyone's able. Whether they will or not is a different conversation. So all of the, it's like everywhere that you believe that you're choiceless around ancestors, will you guys destroy and create all that, please?
Right, wrong, good and bad, part and part. All 9 shots, boys, poets, and beyonds.
And all your commitments, oaths, vows, fealties, communties, swearings, binding and bonding contracts that you've made throughout any and all lifetimes, dimensions, and realities to every ancestor throughout all eternity. Will you revoke, recant, rescind, renounce, denounce, destroy, and create all that, please?
Right and wrong, good and bad, part and part. Oh, 9 shots, boys, poets, and beyonds.
That was a good one. That is a good one. Now, all of the ancestors that are totally ready to leave because they don't want to be part of your family anymore either, but you're holding them there because you're being significant about them. All of the ancestors who are ready to leave, let's just give them all permission to go now. You can all go have another choice. And everything that doesn't allow it, destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong.
Oh, 9 shots, boys, poets, and beyonds.
Could anybody hear? Did you hear how it got quite quiet when we let them go? After you do an entity clearing, guys, and if it gets quiet, that's how you know it worked, because now all the entities are not talking to you anymore. They've gone, so it's quiet.
And so everywhere that you think you are losing something by letting them go, like losing, I don't know, like some caring, some protection, whatever you need from them, that, wow, let's destroy and get all of that, please.
Right, wrong, good, bad.
Pop out unnatural spoils, powers, and beyonds.
Exactly. And everything that you believe that they can be or do for you, that you cannot be or do for you, will you guys destroy and uncreate all that too?
Right and wrong, good and bad, power and part, all nine short spoils, powers, and beyonds.
Okay, now everywhere that you're never supposed to change this, look at this, talk about this, not listen to that crazy American girl talk about this, will you guys destroy and uncreate? Will you guys acknowledge, like, are there any entities here who are telling you, don't go here, don't change this, don't listen to these people? How about fuck them? Return them all from whence they came, never to return to any of you, your bodies or this reality ever again. Return them all from whence they came, never to return to you, your bodies or this reality ever again. And return them all from whence they came, never to return to you, your bodies or this reality ever again.
This is actually not about fighting against them. If you have the need to fight to break free from the family limitation or whatever, you are still making them more powerful than you. That's why you have the need to fight. As if you fight, then you can have freedom. But what if it's not about fighting them? It's not about going against anyone or anything, but it's just choosing something for you, finally.
And everything that doesn't allow that, we guys destroy and uncreate it.
Right and wrong, good and bad, power and power, all nine shots, boys, powers, and beyonds. So in order to get more freedom in this area, it's really about being really present. If you keep doing avoidance, like, no, I don't want to talk about this, I don't want to know anything about this, they have nothing to do with me, but they will still be like talking nonstop around you. I remember this, Shannon, I'm not sure if you still remember this. I think 1 month ago when I told you about the breakthrough that I have, and then so I clear a lot of them. I receive a lot of their contributions as well. And then I said, hey, Shannon, I have this breakthrough. And then you said to me, I could still hear some of them talking to you. And I was like, all right. I clear a lot of them and I still avoid some of them. And after that conversation, I was like, all right, all right, barriers down and receive even more of them. And that gives me even more freedom.
Okay, I don't remember that, but I'm glad you have more freedom. I always want you to have more freedom.
Yeah, it was like a wedgie for me. You say it in a way like, but I could still hear them.
Oh.
And I'm like, all right, okay.
Yeah, so essentially this is like about empowering you guys to have choice, but it's like in this weird area where people like, it's this, so what presumptions and points of view have you guys bought into about entities? Shall we destroy and uncreate that, please?
Right and wrong, good and bad, power and part, all nine shots, boys, poets, and beyonds.
In the culture that I'm from, there's sort of like the whole presumption and point of view about entities is that they don't exist. But I know that that's different for a lot of Asian cultures, for example, and African and Latin cultures. It's that you do know they exist, but you're like, what? Never supposed to talk about them. It's evil to talk to them. You have to respect them in this certain way. They have some power. So all of those points of view, what are some of the points of view, Ryan, that you were taught or told about entities growing up?
They are everywhere. They are scary. They are wrong. They are evil. They will harm you.
So
During
everything that is
certain time of the year, you shouldn't go out at night. You know.
So everything that is, everywhere that any of you guys might have bought into any of those points of view, will you guys destroy and uncreate them, please?
Right, wrong, good and bad, part and part, all nine shots, boys, forwards, and beyonds. You know, some older people in the family, they will say things like, no, don't go out at night. They will follow you. They will come back with you, whatever.
Well, I mean, I actually, I don't know if I want to. I experience more entity activity at night. I don't really. That being said, it's never about, the thing is, so all the superstitions you have about entities, spirits, ghosts, and ancestors, will you guys destroy and cradle that, please?
Right and wrong, good and bad, part and part, all night, shorts, boys, poets, and beyonds.
What power are you refusing with the working with entities you're not choosing? And everything that is, we just straight and create it.
Right and wrong, good and bad, part and part, all night, shorts, boys, poets, and beyonds.
Because like Ryan said a minute ago, it's not about avoiding awareness of ancestors. It's not about avoiding entities. This is a new possibility of choosing to work with what you're aware of. Now, I know that that sounds big, and when we're talking about entities, it can seem like, what's the word? Overwhelming. However, Talk to the Entities has all the tools you need to make working with your awareness of entities totally, not only manageable, not only easy, but extremely rewarding. So what gifts are you avoiding? What gifts are you avoiding? Yeah, what gifts are you avoiding? And everything that is, we just straight uncreate it, please.
Right, wrong, good and bad, part and part, all night, shorts, boys, poets, and beyonds. What
Has
gives
become
avoiding? One more time.
how
Sorry. Right and wrong, good and bad, part and part, all night, shorts, boys, poets, and beyonds.
has becoming more aware of entities for you, Ryan, has it made your life worse or has it made your life greater?
Well, it makes my life much, much, much greater.
Yeah, it's something, it's sort of like the opposite of what I think a lot of us are taught, like how you were taught that like entities are evil and don't talk to them and don't look at them and they're bad. And I think that did exist in the culture that I grew up in, but like in a more detached way, like in the movies. Like I come from the land of movies, so it was more like you would watch these ghost stories on a screen, but they were 99% of the time about horrifying things rather than the peace that we can have and be with the spirit world. What energy, space, consciousness, magic, miracle, mystery, choice, power, potency, and possibility can you and your body be to choose the peace that the spirit world can be? That to choose the peace with the spirit, with entities that no one you've ever known has ever chosen. There. And everything that doesn't allow that, we just try and uncreate it.
Right and wrong, good and bad, part and part, all nine shorts, boys, poets, and beyonds.
So what else should people know about this topic, Ryan?
So if they function from avoidance, if the ancestors want to contribute something to them, they avoid as well. And if they function from need, I need the ancestors to give me something, they cannot really receive as well. So a lot of people, they function from either the avoidance or the need. That's why they hold on to the ancestors that avoid it.
That's huge. Can
Yes,
I tease
please.
that apart a bit? Okay, so what are you avoiding about entities? And we guys just try and cradle that.
Right, wrong, good and bad, part and part, all nine shorts, boys, poets, and beyonds.
What are you defending for or against with entities? And we just try and cradle that.
Right, wrong, good and bad, part and part, all nine shorts, boys, poets, and beyonds.
What are you proving with entities? And we just try and cradle that.
Right, wrong, good and bad, part and part, all nine shorts, boys, poets, and beyonds.
And what are you avoiding about ancestors? And we just try and cradle that.
Right, wrong, good and bad, part and part, all nine shorts, boys, poets, and beyonds.
What are you defending for or against with your ancestors? Ooh, that's big. And will you guys just try to cradle that, please?
Right, wrong, good and bad, part and part, all nine shorts, boys, poets, and beyonds.
I think I need to run that one again. That's huge. Okay. What else are you guys defending for or against with your ancestors? And all that is, will you destroy it and create it, please?
Right, wrong, good and bad, part and part. Oh, nice shots, boys, boys. I mean, it's like to prove that you are a nice person in the family. Like you are not being, what do you call that? Like disobeying the family, the culture.
So you're not, yeah. So everything that is, everywhere you guys are trying to prove that you're a good member of your family, a good boy or a good girl.
With
Oh, you
Asian.
guys, we're a good Asian. Will you destroy and create all that, please?
Right, wrong, good and bad, part and part. Oh, nice shots, boys, boys, and beyonds.
And this isn't only for Asians, obviously. I know we have a lot of Caucasians watching this who are probably experiencing these processes quite dynamically. But we're sort of joking, but we're also not joking. I would say that the ancestor phenomenon is pretty centralized in Asia, and Africa, but they're like less obsessive about it in Africa. So what are you defending for or against with your ancestors? And everything that is for all y'all, will you destroy and uncreate it, please?
Right, wrong, good and bad, part and part. Oh, nice shots, boys, poets, and beyonds.
And what are you proving with your ancestors? That is so big. And will you guys destroy and uncreate all that, please?
Right, wrong, good and bad, part and part. Oh, nice shots, boys, poets, and beyonds. Can I give a question here? Like, like, how many choices that you are making um are based on what the ancestors like or need or desire?
And everything that is, will you guys destroy and uncreate it, please?
Right, wrong, good and bad, power and part. Oh, nice shots, boys, poets, and beyonds.
I think you should ask that again, Ryan.
Can I share the story of how I got this clearing?
Yeah, totally.
I think it was last year in one of my TTTE class. I think someone asked a question. So he or she, I don't remember who, chose her spouse or his spouse based on what the ancestors like. And then so asked the question like, so is this really your choice or like your ancestors' choice? And then everyone was like, whoa.
Well, right. And that brings me to another topic that my dad has brought up a lot over the years, which is Gary Douglas is my dad. So when you guys hear about me talk about my dad, that's who I'm referring to. He's the founder of Access. This is an open call, so I'm not sure how much people know here. Look Gary up. He's amazing. He's taught Ryan and I a lot of what we know. He would indicate like, are you making a body for your ancestors? Like, are you having babies to make bodies for the ancestors that want to come back into your genetic line? So all of you guys who are making baby bodies for your ancestors who are committed to coming back always into your same genetic line, does that give you choice? Do you want to make that choice? Is that working for you? And everywhere that you have never even questioned this for yourself, will you destroy and uncreate that?
Right, wrong, good and bad, part and part. Oh, nice shots, boys, and beyonds. It was kind of feel like a lot of yes and no mixing together,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, there's a lot of people here with a lot of varying desires. So it's like all of you guys that have entities and ancestors, because some of you guys have entities that aren't your ancestors that are trying to become your child, but a lot of you have entities that are ancestors that are trying to get you to make a body for them. All of them that are talking to all of you about make me a body, make me a baby body, get pregnant, get married, have a child now.
Have another child if you have one.
Yeah, have another one, have another one, have another one. Everywhere that you're not participating in that process and just on autopilot to fulfill the entity's desires, will you destroy and uncradle that, please?
Right, wrong, good and bad, part and part. Oh, nice shots, boys, poets, and beyonds.
And you have to make a choice. Who's running your life? You or entities?
Truth.
Who do you live your life for? You or others?
Family.
And everything that is. Will you guys destroy and uncreate it all, please?
Right, wrong, good and bad, part and part. Oh, nice shots, boys, poets, and beyonds.
Look, and Ryan and I are not saying that like you should not, make babies for your ancestor, like make baby bodies for your ancestors or, live your life for others. We're not saying that you shouldn't do that. We're just proposing, right? We're just inviting you to another possibility where you get to be You get to be part of the choice of your life. And everywhere you've never given yourself that permission because you're waiting for your parents or your ancestors to give you that permission, you guys, destroy and uncradle that place.
Let's call that a good Asian syndrome. It's right, great. Right, wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shots, boys, perverts, and beyonds.
And I can hear all the Japanese on this call thinking, but it's not respectful to not be obedient to my ancestors. Is that obedience creating the life living in reality that works for you? When do you get to choose?
And please know, it's really not about fighting against the culture. And what if your willingness to be so different, it inspires so many people to be free from this? And also maybe the ancestors could get some changes as well. They don't need to like
Well,
keep
exactly. So all of the ancestors that are here that are actually interested in this change, will you guys acknowledge all of them, please? And also acknowledge all the ancestors who are not interested in this change. And well, you've said it twice now. It's not about fighting them. So everything that you're doing to align and agree with or resist and react to your ancestors, will you destroy and uncreate all that, please?
right, wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shots, boys, perverts, and beyonds.
This is a very important thing to get. As soon as you're in fight, so if you're in reaction, alignment and agreement and resistance and reaction are two sides of the same thing. So aligning is a form of, I guess, reaction. Alignment is a reaction. So as long as you're in alignment and agreement or resistance and reaction, the thing that you're aligning and agreeing with or resisting and reacting to has power over you. You've given over to it. It's already won. So you can't align and agree or resist and react. But in Access, we talk a lot about allowance. Okay, I'm aware of all these entities. Are you in allowance of your awareness? Are you in allowance of the entities, or are you in reaction to them? And interesting point of view. Interesting point of view. I have this point of view. Interesting point of view. My ancestors have this point of view. Everything is just an interesting point of view. There is no point of view that is right. There is no point of view that is wrong. There is just infinite choice. Now, what would you like to choose? And this is what we are inviting you to. Now, Ryan is going to be participating in the Talk to the Entities advanced class that I'm going to be facilitating in Taipei the last weekend of February. We are going to do a specific ancestors section, which I'm very excited about. It's sort of the topic of ancestors has been kind of like on the blacklist of Talk to the Entities for quite some time, along with demons and angels. Number one, because people make it way too significant. And rule of thumb with Talk to the Entities, no form, no structure, no significance. If you make it significant, it's not Talk to the Entities. It's this reality. So Ryan's going to join me for a small ancestor section at that class in Taipei. And if you're watching this with all of us now and you have never done Talk to the Entities, please know that there is a book that's translated, I think, like into 10 languages. We have it in Mandarin and Japanese, Hungarian, Polish, Spanish, Italian, French, Dutch, English. Hopefully someone will put that link somewhere there for you guys. That's a really good place to start. And then there's all the Talk to the Entities classes. If you, could somebody post a link to all of the Talk to the Entities classes on the Access site, please, with all the facilitators worldwide? There are about 200 Talk to the Entities facilitators who have access to this amazing body of information. And we welcome those of you guys that are interested in actually having more consciousness in this area. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Ryan, before we leave today?
I guess so. If there's something for people to practice, it would be more about if you sense ancestors are around you or try to talk to you, just lower your barriers, practice interesting point of view. Yeah, so that would be a good start.
Yeah. That's the whole point of talk to the entities. It's actually about talking to the entities, not reacting to, resisting, avoiding, freaking out, making it wrong, making it hard. It's like you have so much capacity, each and every one of you. And opening to awareness of entities and starting to include that in your life is a much bigger world to live in. It's a much more inclusive world. And I know that many of you probably were not given any good tools. um, and that's what the Talk to the Entities classes are for. It's really the toolkit that makes it weirdly easy. So we hope you enjoy. Thank you, Ryan, for joining me today. Thank you, everybody who popped on here for this. And how's it get better? Thank you, everybody.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.